Delighted to say today we're joined by US men's national team and Bournemouth star Tyler Adams. Tyler, thank you so much for joining us here at NBC Sports. Firstly, can you sum up your season so far at Bournemouth personally? How's it been going for you, mate?
Yeah, a great season to be honest with you. It was nice to start off the season and play consistently. Obviously, an unfortunate injury in the middle of the season, which kind of put a halt to things for 9, 10 weeks or so. So about 2.5 months throughout that winter period. So missed a few games there, and then yeah, happy to be back with the team now and try and finish the season strong.
I mean, you're ranked fifth among Premier League midfielders in terms of interceptions per 90 minutes. It feels like you've found like the perfect team for you, some of your biggest strengths, and just how's it all meshing for you at Bournemouth? You've been there for a few seasons now, but it seems like you and the team just keep getting better and better.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, I think it's important when, players are choosing clubs that they try and find clubs that fit their strengths, not just go to a club to go to a club. And for me, I found the perfect landing spot in terms of where I was at in my career, in terms of development. Now being 27 years old, I've played here since I was 24. So I think that's a crucial part of my development and playing under a manager who trusts me, gave me a lot of minutes, a club that trusted my ability as well to find the role that I have. And it's just allowed me to do what I do best. And I'm definitely thankful to the staff here.
And what are Bournemouth's targets, mate, for the last, few games of the season here? Because Europe seems possible. I mean, it's been amazing to see sort of the draws this season, 15 draws, most in the Premier League. And when you look at the table, only the top three have actually lost fewer games than you, sorry. So it's been really close to being an incredible season, but you can still finish really strong, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of big games left, and I think that has to be the objective is to knock some of the big teams off the chart. I think for us, coming into the season, it was obviously very hard to set the same bar as what we achieved last season. That was an unbelievable season with some unbelievable players. But the consistency that we've had now to maintain that level has been really impressive. I think we could do with less draws and a couple more wins, obviously, to set ourselves in a better position. But what's happened has happened, and we have a lot of big games left to play.
Can you explain how your game specifically has developed under Iraola? I heard you speaking about this before, maybe the simplicity and just focus on what you're good at and your role in the team. I mean, is there anything that you really feel like you've kicked on with the last few years?
I mean, I think there's definitely a simplicity to the game, but I think that in terms of with the ball this season, he's just asked me to do a little bit more, and I think that that's allowed me to develop and look at the game in a completely different way, understand the triggers of what movements attackers are making and where to give them the ball in order to set them up successfully. So I think for me that's been an important aspect of this season is just to think about the game in a deeper meaning. Defensively, I've always been really strong at that. I think offensively this season, I've been able to find players in better situations to set up the game. So whether that's controlling the tempo of the game a little bit better, reading the game a little bit better, these kinds of details, he's allowed me to set that up a little bit better this season.
And is that kind of what we can expect to be the next step for you in your game? I mean, you've added goals, assists this season. I mean, is that you just want to try and maybe get a bit further up the pitch to influence the game? Is that the next step for you?
I think that's the natural evolution of my game for sure. I think it's not being afraid to take that risk when the moment is right. Still making sure you're simple in the areas you need to be simple, but when you have the ability to get into the box or on set pieces, being a nuisance or taking a couple more shots per season that will eventually add into goals. Do you know what I mean? Just understanding the risk assessment that you can take in certain areas of the field.
In terms of life off the field in Bournemouth, I mean, can you describe what it's like to people in the US who haven't been there? Because I grew up not far from there, Tyler, and I think, England's Malibu. That's all I'm saying. Is that a good comparison?
That's what people tell me. I wouldn't go as far as Malibu, maybe like a Jersey Shore of some sorts, you know what I mean? But no, absolutely, it's a beautiful part of the world, to be honest with you. And for me, having a family, it's a perfect place to be. It's a little bit more quiet. Obviously, as the summer comes on, a lot more to do outdoors. But like where I grew up in New York, I grew up in the outdoors and in the nature. So this feels like home to me, and I'm very thankful.
What do you get up to? Do you play golf? Do you go on like walks along the beach and the forest with family and friends? I mean, what's like an off day look for you like in Bournemouth?
A lot of hiking, a lot of walks on the beach, a lot of chasing my kids around. Having two of them, two under two, is difficult. Let's put it that way. So constant energy as soon as I get home from training. Actually, going home is more difficult than training most days. So yeah, a lot of time outdoors, watching my son bike ride and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a great place to be with family.
And so we know you're very good at man marking on the pitch, so off it as well. You've got that down to a T.
Yeah, we're down to a T, that's for sure.
Any sort of English foods or traditions or things you've really liked in the last few years? You've been in England for a while now, mate.
Sunday roasts, love a Sunday roast. Obviously, Yorkshire pudding wrap, stuff like that. It took me a while to try it in Leeds. I was giving it a knock for a long time, but when I finally gave into it, I'm eating them more consistently down here. That's for sure.
Of course. And then switching focus stateside, I mean, US men's national team, obviously, we've been talking about it a lot here at NBC Sports, building up to the summer. I mean, most recently, what are your feelings on those friendly defeats to Belgium and Portugal? Because you were watching it from afar. Yeah, your opinion on that, mate.
Yeah, obviously, it was a bummer that I couldn't be in camp because I really wanted to be involved in that camp and be around the boys and you know, obviously continue to grow throughout the last camp before the World Cup. The results are what they are, but I watched the Belgium game. Obviously, it was a little bit earlier game here in Europe, and I thought the boys competed really well, especially in the first half. Obviously, the game probably got a little bit out of hand in the second half, and sometimes results like that happen. But I think it's better that it happens now, obviously, than in a World Cup. So I think it's important to remember that feeling and not really want to go through that pain again. And then the game against Portugal, you know, watching the extended highlights, I thought the team competed really well again. I think it's just unlucky two moments that we don't defend well. And when you give, you know, players of that caliber, like Bruno Fernandes, Trincao, like these types of players, which we're going to experience come a World Cup, you see the quality that they have, and international football is really, really, really down to the moment. So I think it's just an important learning experience, but we're going to grow from it and get better.
Yeah, is it actually a good thing that that happened?
I mean, I never want to say losing is a good thing, but when losing in a friendly is more important than losing in an actual competition. So again, I think it's just about remembering that feeling and that level of competition that we need to bring come a World Cup.
And do you think people have overreacted a little bit? Because I've seen some, analysis out there being like, "Oh, this is not great. It's negative vibes. US are going to go out in the group, all this kind of stuff." And at least for me personally, like, hang on, let's calm down a bit. There's still plenty of time to go. I mean, I know people really want the US team to do well and get behind them. But yeah, I think there's a bit of perspective needed, right? There's a reason that you guys played some of the top 7, 8 teams in the world to kind of get to where you want to get to for the World Cup this summer.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is good preparation, but I also respect people's opinions because I think they really care about the state of U.S. soccer and how badly they want it to grow and compete at that world level. And just as a player as well that's competing in the Premier League, which for me is the best league in the world, competing at the best level, we know that we can compete. It's a matter of bringing it all together at the right time and making sure that we can. So, yeah, still work to be done, but there's always going to be work to be done. So, you know, for us, it's just about pushing along, continuing to stay positive. Yeah, and hopefully, you know, come World Cup, we're ready to go.
I mean, come World Cup, I mean, I'm thinking back, mate. I spoke to you 2018, the England and Italy friendlies. I remember the Italy one in particular in Genk in Belgium. Do you remember this? I mean, it was kind of very like interim transitional period. You guys were just making your mark, and a lot of you guys in that squad, been together now on this journey, and it felt like always, even back then, 2026 home World Cup. This was the moment. I mean, have you visualized this for many, many years, getting to this point in your career?
Yes and no. I mean, I obviously had to know that we're going to play in the home World Cup, but I think now having played in a World Cup, knowing what it means and what it means to our country and how we can really help the game grow at a faster pace, this is going to be a monumental change for U.S. soccer. I think it's a huge opportunity, and we want to be able to grasp it. So I think for me, I know that I can play an integral role in that, and I want to make sure that I do play that role.
And in terms of sort of the other roles and the other playmakers around you, who are you closest with on the US team? I mean, I know you guys stay in touch a lot, but Brendan Aronson spoke to him recently, and I know you guys are pretty close. I mean, what goes on behind the scenes?
Yeah, Brendan's one of my closest friends. Obviously, you know, we played together at Leeds as well, but we also come from a similar area, like that tri-state area. He was playing for Philadelphia Union. I was playing for New York Red Bull. We always heard a lot about each other, and yeah, we bonded a lot at our time at Leeds. So he's someone that I stay in touch with all the time. You know, Christian Pulisic and Weston McKennie, we went to residency together. So those are some of my closest friends. Chris Richards and Anthony Robinson, they're here in England. So I stay in touch with them all the time. So yeah, just for different reasons, you know, you stay close with everyone. So I'm thankful for all those relationships, but yeah, those bonds run deeper than the soccer. So I think that that brings us a lot closer when we play together.
Yeah, does that helps on the pitch, right? When you're looking around and you know these guys inside out, on and off the pitch, that's got to help you as a team.
Without a doubt, it's the chemistry. I think that when you have that chemistry all over the field, you go to war with one another. So I'm thankful for those relationships, and yeah, I think we let the soccer speak for itself when we have the opportunity.
And the soccer, obviously, the World Cup's going to be a big deal. We know that. But how big of a moment is it for the entire US soccer community? I'm thinking at all levels of the game. I know you're involved in ownership in the USL with Westchester SC, Hudson Valley Hammers. I mean, this seems like all levels are going to benefit from this World Cup, right? At least that's the hope for all of us.
100%. I think for me, I want the biggest benefit to be to the grassroots, right? I want more kids that are picking up a soccer ball and wanting to play soccer and stick with it. I think in the US, it's such a money-driven sport at this moment in time, which part of it I understand and part of it I don't, because I play in Europe and I see how easy it is to get involved in the sport. But at the same time, it really is the only sport. So like compared to the US where you have 5 major sports and kids can play anything and everything is at your fingertips, it's a little bit understandable. But we want to be the reason that more kids want to play the game.
Have you thought about, I know you've still got many years to play, mate, but after the game, what you would like to do? I mean, coaching, GM, sporting director, punditry, I don't know, anything you've thought about in terms of
Yeah, can't share publicly. It will be a secret.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host of NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock.